Wow. What do you think of that? What don't you think of that? I think that girl has got everything that she deserves.
Right. Are we ready?
No.
Do 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 do.
Oh, stop that.
Yes. Do you remember that?
Like, strange.
Do 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 do. Yes. Right. And I cannot breathe. I'm gonna have to get some more obis oil, darling. Right. Well, you ready? God, they are taking that wall out. Welcome everyone. No. Yes.
Yes, every time that is how we start.
Hello everyone and welcome to Middle-Aged Opinion. I'm your host Ellie.
And I am Emily, and today we are going to be looking at
Parallel universe. I said
parallel universe.
that's what she said.
If I can even get into it.
I'm going to start anyway. Alright?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of mine are short. I've gone for shorter ones. So
Yeah.
we can ping through some more ones. I also found that a lot of these stories reminded me of glitches in the Matrix.
Yes, I found that too.
Yes, so I think instead of posting there, they posted here. Maybe they posted both, but that's the vibe I was getting. So I'm assuming this and Glitch in the Matrix are very similar. Okay. I think reality is invented and somehow things like games are being used to program and spirit reality through technology in real life time. Bit confusing,
Right.
okay? And also, before we carry on, I've just noticed my nail go like that. It go like that. And I was winding down because it go like that.
It's irrelevant.
but it happened, look. It go like that. Look, like that, look.
I think that one does
Like that. So instead of straight, it go like that. So back to the podcast.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to try that again because I feel like I didn't read it properly. I think reality is invented and somehow things like games are being used to program and script reality through technology in real life time. Bit
Okay.
confusing, but I think I'm with it. I will even say that they are using dreams as a way to use the creator in everyone to manifest as well. So it's very hard to keep on track with this person's
So
thoughts.
this
Yeah,
is complicated.
okay, but I'm going to stick with it.
Go on.
So if they can hijack the percentage of reality through external means and not reality itself, but tools like technology and social media and entertainment, then they can try to use this to manipulate reality itself by the use of people to do it from their unconsciousness. Okay, do you want me to tell you what I think about that? Or have you already come up with a theory? Or
No,
are you
I have
completely
no.
lost? Right.
No theory here.
What I think this person is trying to say is the theory of we are in a game, like the Matrix,
The Matrix.
what we've spoken about
Yeah,
before. But I don't think he's quite saying that. I think he's saying we are reality, and by the they call it something, messages
Right.
through social media, entertainment, we've spoken about this before, the unconscious messages that we're getting, that's how they're controlling us to make reality go the way they want to do it.
So what you're saying is, or what they're saying is, they're making me want to buy that dress.
Yes.
Even though I know
They're manipulating you by everything you do is because you've had unconscious messages said to you, so it's making you act.
Yeah, okay.
Which actually I don't, like I do.
There is an element of that
Yeah.
being something that is happening, because we know that our phones
listen to us.
listen, and then you know, you open up, and then next thing you know, because you've mentioned a mattress that you don't need, but your mate who you're talking to has said they've gone and got a new mattress because their mattress is shit.
Yeah.
You suddenly got 10,000 fucking adverts of mattresses, and you're like, what the hell?
So some people have followed the train of thought. However,
Yeah.
this one is more interesting because it says, yes, I believe this in regards to the newest generation, which to me makes sense.
Absolutely.
Right, because
I hear it
obviously, yeah,
Mhm.
because of the way, I want to say this in the nicest way in case we do have some of the newer generation, because first of all, they live online, right?
Yep.
And everything is way more than us, you know, like obviously we've started doing this podcast and that, but other than a bit of social media before, on our private accounts, we're not, no. But the way that the younger generation thinks, you know, everyone's offended, everyone's upset all the time,
Yeah.
is because they keep reading that you should be
That
upset and
they should
offended.
be, yeah,
Yes.
rather than actually think about what you're thinking about.
Yes. So in a way, I wonder if it's because the previous generation that manifested this unadmittedly onto themselves. So that I kind of am with more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a weird one to start with, but you know, I kind of like where he's going.
Yeah, I hear that. You know, like I was talking about the DNA thing actually with my parents the other day, and I was like laughing about it. It was like, because you had said like you really don't want to be just English.
I
And
just
was like,
don't. I
There's
think
no
it's
way.
boring.
There's just no way. And then I said, funny enough, when we were at school when we first started, there was a girl. I'm not going to say her name, but she said to me that I am Mexican. She didn't ask me if I was Mexican. She told me I'm Mexican, and I'm
Okay.
like, I wasn't offended. I feel like if you had said that to someone now,
That would be
you would have been completely
Massively, yeah.
offended. But I mean, there wasn't a lot that offended me ever in life.
no, me neither. It would
It
take
takes
a lot.
for me to go
Yeah.
to sort of pipe up and be like, you want to fucking sit down now.
Yeah, it's very
But
rare.
She was like, you're Mexican. I was just like, no.
Not as far as I'm
But
aware.
actually, I do think there is Spanish in me, so maybe
Yeah.
that's where she was coming
Yeah,
from.
I actually can't. I mean, obviously we're going to do a special, and all that is going to be on social media is little snippets. So if people really want to go and watch, they're going to have to go over to YouTube and watch that, because it won't be on the podcast either, because we would do a full reveal
Yeah.
and put the full video on YouTube. So if you're over there looking at our DNA results, subscribe. But anyway, yeah, I can't wait for it, because I can't wait, because I've had a few things. I've had Egyptian, French, Scottish, Irish. I've had a few different things. I don't want to be just, nothing wrong with being English. I am English. I was born in English.
Yeah, I was born English.
There are people that are though.
There's nobody.
Babe, I'm telling you, I've watched YouTube videos and they're like English, Scottish, Welsh. I know obviously Scotland is a different, and Irish is, but what I'm
So is
saying
Welsh.
it's the, yes, but it's the same
Ireland.
island. Well, Ireland isn't the same island, but we are the United Kingdom, right? So there's nothing wrong with that, and if
Yeah,
I
but
am,
if
I
you
am.
said to a Scottish person you're English, they wouldn't have a bubble at that. Not a chance.
Also,
So it's about whether you are English.
yes,
Not Scottish, Welsh, Irish.
deferring from
English.
this completely and just sticking on this one.
Like we've just done.
Yeah, just sticking on this subject for a second. So they do think that all rhesus negative people come from one Spanish Isle, I believe it is, Spanish Isle, where 95 or 98% of the population are rhesus negative. My mum was rhesus negative. In fact, mum was AB, the rarest rhesus negative. So that to me says, is her heritage from there, or again, is it just a genetic defect? So I actually can't wait to see. So it's exciting. But yes, no, so I think this person's got a
good point.
a
Valid
good point. I think that that's what we talk about all the time. There's aspects, I believe, and other aspects
It's definitely
where,
more valid now
yes,
than possibly when we were younger.
100. There was no. We did IT once a week.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking
boring.
Which was not even on dial-up.
Yeah, and it was boring.
It was boring.
Computers were
it was
boring.
Windows where you like drew pictures and stuff. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything like that. And my first mobile, I had left school, so 16 when I got my first mobile, and then that was text and phone calls and Snake.
And Snake.
Yeah. So for me, yes, it makes more sense that yes, there are subliminal messages. That's what I was looking for.
Go on, Kel.
Yes, there you go. It took me a while, but I got there. Over to you, babes.
Right, this is really short.
Fine, a lot of mine are.
A paragraph short. So this is also off of Parallel Universe. I'm not sure if you're going to hear me, so because I've moved slightly. But
Yes, you're picking up.
yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I did a sound check.
Okay, check. 1, 2. Anyway.
As long as they can't hear me over you, I don't care. Because everyone's like, you're well loud, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry.
So literally by the top comment, I think this is a little bit sad, but let's go with it anyway. Meet me at the apple tree.
Okay. Oh, I quite like that.
I like the title.
Yeah.
So it is from Parallel Universe.
Okay.
So it says, my best friend passed yesterday.
Oh.
We met at 14, when things that weren't real could be. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. That's when your imagination's running wild.
Yeah. Most of our adult life, we lived in different states, but always showed up for each other when it mattered. At 14, we would go to sleep and promise to meet at the apple tree to share our dream. In hopes there's a parallel universe that Reddit cross Jules, meet me at the apple tree. Oh, okay, it was just a message.
Which I think is sweet.
But that's it, that's it.
Okay, so she's asking, what I'm taking from it
Yeah.
is that people think there's a parallel universe where they will meet at the apple tree. So that comes down to, do you believe in life after death?
Yeah.
So do you believe in life after death?
Yeah, I do.
What do you think happens?
I do feel like there is, when you've got unfinished business, you don't
Move on.
move on. Like, you pass in bad circumstances, and it potentially wasn't your time to go. But yeah, I do. I like the idea that there is like your body goes wherever it goes because it's now an empty vessel, and your spirit, your soul moves on to your next.
Yeah. So I also am in the theory of, there's quite a few, and that's how my mind is, but I quite like the reincarnation.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes I like you pick your life plan for the lessons that you learn in that life. And then other times I think, why the fuck would I choose this? But
I didn't choose my life.
But there's also other aspects of unfinished business, exactly, like what you were kind of saying. But I do like that it is unknown. There is no way of knowing what's coming next.
Yeah.
And actually, I think that's nicer, whether you believe in God and heaven or hell or whatever it is. I think that it's nice that you don't know, because I think if you did know, that would scare you.
Yeah. And then it comes down to, would you choose that?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's better.
And having that control to be able to change your destiny.
Have you watched The Good Place?
No.
You should watch it. It's on Netflix. It's brilliant. You'll love it.
I started watching The Haunting of Rye.
I think I've seen that.
Well, it's a series thing. Yeah, it didn't get past the first episode.
Boring then, so no, I wouldn't have seen it.
No. There
too
was
scary.
something going on with mirrors. I was like, no.
Yeah, so I'm into that. So I believe that the portal, isn't it? But you should watch The Good Place. Now, The Good Place it's a comedy. It's a nice, light-hearted Netflix series.
Okay.
And basically what they're saying is, so when you die, you go to the good place or the bad place. And only one person has made it to the medium place. So they weren't amazing, but they did something really incredible the day they died. right? Which
Okay.
then sent them, so they weren't good, they weren't bad, they went to the medium place. But these people are in the good place, it's actually the bad place. It's the demons playing tricks. But my point is, what they are saying the afterlife is everything you do on earth is a series of points, right? So
Yeah.
us sitting here together is a series of points. It's tallied up, and only exceptional people make it to the good place.
Like a real good place, or like the naughty?
No, the good place, the real good place, not the naughty place where they're tormenting you with yourself. Like that is what it's about. But basically, long story short, I mean, watch it. I don't know if I ruin my set. I won't tell you what happens next, but basically, it's a point system.
Oh.
But what it comes down to is humans are capable of always improving. So that's quite
a true story.
Yeah, that's quite a nice. Unless you're like a serial killer or something like that, then I'm sorry, but you definitely belong in the bad place.
Yeah,
but
there's not much you're going to get.
There's not, because obviously, you know, you are what you are. But I think if that was the case, I'd have to work my way up to the good place.
Where would I be?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like we're medium people. I don't think we're exceptional, but I don't think we're bad people.
I reckon I'd be literally like a couple of points off of being at the top, like getting into the good place.
Do you reckon?
That's literally my
you
whole
would have
life.
to improve yourself.
But I never quite make it
where you
there.
need to be.
Literally just a couple of points.
I don't know. Sometimes I look and I think I definitely would be in the good place because of all the trials and tribulations and whatnot. And then other times I think the things I say and find funny are definitely going to send me straight to the bad place. So yeah, no, I liked that.
I feel like my divorce is sending me
to the bad place. I don't know. You've been very calm.
No, I mean, my humour has changed.
Oh yeah, like you're definitely a darker person, but I've helped with that.
If I don't laugh at it, I'm going to cry, so let's just do it.
Whereas me, that's been years of torment that have led me to this place. But I don't think I'm a bad person.
No, you're not.
I don't think I'm an exceptional person. I've said to you before that if we ever made it, I would definitely start a charity of buying properties and renting them out to disadvantaged families who are really struggling, very, very similar to what the council do for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be like a charity. And also, you know, if I had loads of money, so, you know, make us famous, I would, for children on the lowest income who are struggling for trainers, clothes, things that other kids pick on them for, then we could be a charity that supply that to these children. That would be something that I would love to achieve. Not to make me a good person, because, you know, when Paul had his stroke, we suffered financially massively.
Yeah.
And from being very comfortable to obviously, you know, being on benefits. And then, not that Alfie and Harry have ever gone without, but I know that there are children that are going without, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know these kids are always wanting and needing, and it's really difficult. I mean, you're a single mum, and it's really expensive, and now you've got back to school again, and it has to be this shoe, and it has to be that, because otherwise they're going to be bullied. And people say, you know, don't fall for the peer pressure, but that's not reality either.
That's not reality.
So, yeah, that is what me and Emily will do when we make it big, not to bed, when we make it big. We're going to change as many lives as we can, I think.
Yeah.
That's my plan. That's your plan. Something we've spoken about, so that would be cool.
That would be really nice.
But let's get back
Make
into the
a difference.
episode. Can you imagine making a difference?
Even just the one person is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, starting off small, start with the properties, you know, more and more money in, start a charity and help people out. I mean, can you just imagine?
Yeah.
That's the dream. I've had that dream for a lot. I thought if I won the lottery, but I haven't won that yet either. Anyway, back to this.
Go.
I'm living a whole other life in my dream and I don't know how to stop it. Hi. So this is a throwaway account for obvious reasons. I don't know what to do. I've tried researching this for a long time, but I can't find anything that explains it. I'm starting to lose my mind a little bit. In my dreams, I've been living a whole separate life that is only slightly alternative from my waking life. Example, I got evicted from my apartment back in 2021 because I was hiding my boyfriend with warrants at the time.
Oh my god.
Dumb, I know. But I was a kid. Anyway, in my dreams, we're always back in that apartment, whether we're squatting there or actually allowed to be there still. We have our 2 kids. We have now who are now just a little bit older. Every time I go to sleep, I go to work at the same restaurant, which is right next to my mum's house, and my kids play there, and I go and see them whenever I want to, until my husband and I get off work. I'm so fucking wired, like I'm living a whole different version of my life in my dreams. I just smoke weed. It does say I just smoke. I was thinking I'd missed something. I just smoke weed. I don't even drink. I don't know what's going on. I'm just freaked out. This has been happening for almost a year now, and I don't know how to stop it. Or is anyone else has dealt with anything like this? Thank you for any advice. I'm gonna have to blow my nose, I'm sorry. Well,
I mean, that's kind of what dreams are about, isn't it? You know, they do take you to a parallel universe, a different world, a different time, a different place. And you can be whatever the fuck you want in your dreams, can't you?
they say like you're able to disconnect, aren't you, and control your dream.
But it probably doesn't help that she smokes.
I'm thinking that, actually. I'm thinking it's the weed. I think she's hallucinating
Yeah.
and not quite sleeping.
Yeah. I mean, you know, sometimes dreams are sort of the last things you're thinking of at the end of the day, and sometimes your dreams are
Like your subconscious.
Yeah, and sometimes it's, you know, things that you've thought about or wished for in your head. Like you're like, oh, wouldn't it be nicer if this had happened? Or I don't know.
Yeah. Well, somebody
The
said,
weed don't help, I don't reckon.
this happens to me too. Never been able to find someone who gets it. I live a whole other life in my dreams. I figured it either another dimension, another timeline, and somehow I can access during sleep. Alternatively, travelling perhaps. It's one of those things. There's about 4 or 5 places I go to over and over again. Excuse me.
Happy places?
And the trees grow, the kids age, the projects around the house evolve and get done. I'm living this life somehow, somewhere else. I think that's quite interesting. Maybe there's something to it. Something that we're not.
Yeah, no, I've got one on here which is also about dreams. But,
Yeah. Because
it's really long.
I have read some stuff like this before, and I have seen films where it's actually a horror film, but me and horrors, who knew? But I forgot what it's called. I love it. I've got the whole series. People know when I explain. He goes to sleep and he's able to leave his body and go to other places and live in his dreams. So it's like a detaching. You're able to detach. What is the horror called? I'll think of it once we finish, I bet. But anyway, he's able to. No, you're thinking of Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger.
No, I'm gonna have to quickly search it up. I'm sorry.
Is it
I know what is bothering me. Horror where he goes off in a dream. It's going to bother me because I'm going to see it and I'm going to be like, that's it. Before I wake, no. Oh my god, it's got Dalton in it. Insidious. There you go, Insidious. So Insidious is a series, but the first one is
I was
basically,
going to say, I feel like that's Netflix at the moment, isn't it?
maybe it's on Netflix. They put it on and off all the time, but basically he's a boy, his name's Dalton, and he has a gift where he can leave his body, float above his body, which I believe is true, like if you can control in your dreams. He looks at his body, he knows that he's sleeping, but he's off for the night. So he'll fly
But
off.
he
Flies off, does other things in his dream, like has a whole separate time in his dream, but he's completely, it's like a gift, they call it a gift. But in this horror, the danger is that you're leaving your body exposed to other souls to come in, and basically that is what the horror is about, whether that's true or not. But this could be what's happening. They could be going to sleep and able to control, and off they go, live a whole nother life in their dream, and then back in the morning, if that
But
makes
would
sense.
it not be nighttime?
I don't know. This is what I'm saying, like, because there are people talk about it, they say that this is what happens, same as sleep paralysis, that sort of thing. I think that that's just it, babe. There's just these so much, because if we truly are souls, and when we die, if we can truly are, so our body is nothing but organic matter, we get buried, and our souls then can leave and either arseholes, if our arseholes can leave and then reincarnate, visit our graves, meet those that we love in heaven, with all these possibilities, I can't rule that out either. So either it's the weed, but this other person's got no mention of it, then, who fucking knows? Interesting. Go!
Okay. Parallel universe.
I feel like you should do the dream one.
It's really long.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah. Because I just looked at it, I was like, no.
Yeah, no, sometimes I do that as well.
2 lives at once. It sounds very similar, doesn't
There you
it?
go.
So, I've been living in at least 2 worlds at once. I think it's either Earth and Hell, or Heaven and Hell, or maybe all 3. Whatever is happening, it started when
Every podcast.
CERN CERN fired their shit
Yes.
back.
CERN Collider. Yeah.
Fired their shit back up the other day. My friends and family now believe me fully after several experiences like the following. So I told an older woman she looked very pretty a few days ago. It was just me and her in the aisle, with my friend standing just past the end of the aisle, less than 10 feet away. The woman lit up like a Christmas tree and was thanking me profusely. As we said our goodbyes and walked away, my friend, in a very mocking voice, said, "That is my husband." I asked him what he was talking about. He said, "Bro, you weren't even hitting on her. What was her problem?" I asked what the fuck he was talking about. He said she was standing next to her husband and acting as if I'd insulted the sanctity of
Sanctity of their
marriage just by complimenting her. I told him there was no man with her and that she had loved my compliment. Because we had experienced several others like this. Because we had experienced several other like situations, he didn't question it. We just accept that we had walked 2 different paths, yet remained together somehow. I kept this short. I used to write way too much detail, but I think just the gist is enough. They're happening so fast, I won't be willing to write about all of them, but I will keep you all updated on my multi-universal journeys, I promise.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, his friend's there, he's here, he's complimented a woman,
Yeah,
and he's like, you've just like
that's rude.
insulted that man by doing that to
His wife.
His wife.
And he's like, there's nobody there.
Like, what are you chatting about?
Yeah.
So what is he seeing and what is he seeing? And
So-
then I suppose which one is...
So then that would be like what I call a glitch in the matrix, right? So, which again is parallel universe. So, you know, I've spoken to you about their headlong collider many times.
Yeah.
So they, or the CERN, whatever it is, they fire it up, and there is a boy, he was on TikTok, 14, very, very hyper intelligent, was explaining, because they reckon every time it fires up, it's taking us off our trajectory. Hence, when you get things like the Mandela effect, where you remember one thing, I remember it the other way, and everybody's left confused, because the reality is crossing over so much that it's flipping. So where I should be here, for example, and I'm going down this life path, and Emily, my Emily's going down this life path, and then you've got, say, you, for example, and then you've got Ellie and you're going down this one. They light this fucker up, whatever it's doing, and then we cross. But I stay there, you stay there, but our alternative selves cross over, and then you're going, that's not how it was, and I'm going, yes it is. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that is fascinating to me, because lately there's been a lot of, not just that, babe, like so many things. People are like, are you seeing this shit? What about all the fucking networks dropping down in America and then here in the UK? So all of that, and then now our government, it was on GMTV, are saying get 3 days of supply just in case. The government are saying get 3 days of water, get this food. What is actually going on? Are they preparing us? And then we go back to the first story I read of subliminal messages.
Mm-hmm.
You know, are they trying to tell us what's coming, but not actually saying it? I mean, the whole thing is like...
I missed that message because my fridge is empty. I need to go shopping.
Yeah, tins and stuff. They're like 3 days of water. And I'm like, we ain't going to even have access to water, because I don't buy bottled water.
No.
Do you?
No, I use the council pot. I'm good for that.
Yeah, same here. I get it out of the tap and drink it like a normal person with the shit in it. I don't care. But yeah, it was on GMTV. Like, well, it's not GMTV anymore. What is it? Good Morning Britain,
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't even watch it, but I saw it on a TikTok thing where someone had been like, "Look, get your stuff ready." I'm like, I've got some tins. I'm just going to be thirsty.
I've got 1 tin of soup. I'm going to eat later, maybe.
Yeah, is that what you're having for dinner?
It's between that or pasta.
I feel like cheese.
Oh, I fancy cheese.
I fancy a bit of cheese.
I've got cheese on my tomato soup.
But that nice cheese, I have to go and get it though. That's the only thing. I don't know if I can be bothered. You know, the round cheese with the skin that you put in the oven.
Yeah, come
yeah. Oh, that's something else that is. Oh, it gets all stuck to the roof of your mouth. Anyway, moving on. Right.
I want that now.
My fiance is speaking to me from the other side. Can anyone relate? Don't know if this would be parallel universe or more paranormal. But anyway, haven't read it, so let's find out. People say I'm crazy and that I'm just grieving, and this is my mind's way of getting me through the grief process. My fiance passed away a little over a year ago. We were together for 7 years. It hit me really hard. Anyway, I read a book called Signs by Laura Lynn Jackson, a psychic medium. In the book, she explains how to notice signs that our loved ones are sending from the other side. She said these signs sometimes come in the form of animals or nature. For example, if a deer randomly stops and stares at you from a close distance and doesn't run away, it may be a sign from your loved one. Or if you find a penny in the dryer that is balancing on its side, so I'm assuming upright, that could be a sign. She said The strongest sign, however, is when you hear or see something that you know in your heart is a direct connection to someone you loved on the other side. For instance, if your dead Aunt Sally
Always Aunt Sally.
Oh, it's
Sorry.
easy. Yeah. Absolutely loved Alice in Chains. And on a day when you are particularly missing her, you turn on the radio and the first song you hear is Rooster by Alice in Chains. It's a fucking immense song, that is. With that being said, I write stories and poems in my spare time. I also read a lot of stories and poems from the past couple of months. It seems like his name pops up all the time in stories I read, podcasts I listen to, and videos I watch. His name is Arthur. Love that name. We always called Alfie that. It's not a popular name. You don't hear it very often. Not only his name, but also his birthday. Another thing is that our song, The Gift by Seetha, it's not a very popular song. I haven't heard it. I didn't think I would hear it as a sign, but I see The Gift literally everywhere. There's a new TV show on Netflix called The Gift. It's a show that I would never ever remotely be interested in, but yet it showed up the very first slot of my recommendations for you list. I purchased a short story the other day and the very first story in the book was called The Gift. 2 stories later, the main character name was Arthur, which is Spanish translation for Arthur. Someone randomly sent me a poem a couple of weeks ago called The Gift. It just keeps popping up everywhere. Then to top it all off, I had a dream about a month ago. I was standing in the doorway of an old house and Arthur walked up to me and the sunlight was shining on his face and hair. He smiled really big and I just ran and wrapped my arms around him. We hugged and I kept telling him how much I missed him. He kept saying, it's making me sad. I know, it's okay. Then I looked up at him with tears in my eyes and he said, did you get my message? And then I woke up. So my question is, am I just grieving, turning things into wishful thinking? Or do you guys think that our loved ones on the other side somehow have a way of altering reality and making things happen? I would love to hear all your opinions and any personal stories or similar experiences. Very good writer. That fucking, I got all like, I could feel it. Okay, you go first.
Okay.
Was it making you feel sad?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
No, I like the story.
She's a fantastic writer.
I like the story. Do our past loved ones send signs? Yeah, I think they do.
I think they do.
You know, I really do believe in, like, you know, when you see a robin,
So do I. Butterfly.
A white feather.
Something's been moved.
Like, I really do believe in stuff like that. I mean, and then does it fall into coincidence? Like, that's happened when you just happen to be thinking about it? I don't know.
I think if you're looking for signs, they're easier to find.
Yeah.
I think I definitely agree with that. So I've told you this before. I think I've said it on the podcast, but when my mum died on the 7th of December 2015, so my mum used to come to my house every Thursday and do her washing and tumble drying. So me and my sister, my brother went back to his house. He was living down the road then, not in Somerset. And me and my sister, Lisa, we went back to mine. And so at the bottom of a washing machine here in the UK, you have like a compartment in the front and inside is a hose and like you can turn the thing and then things get stuck in it. It's like a filter, you know, for all intents and purposes. You have to push it in to pull it out. Mine kept popping out, and that happened the very night that me and Lisa went like back to my flat. And I definitely think that was my mum. We also saw a psychic. I've seen many psychics. I don't, you know, a lot of them just want your money. But this one psychic said your mum keeps playing with the washing machine. How could anybody know?
No one could know.
And then she said something about my mantelpiece as well, because not everyone in the UK has a mantelpiece, especially not nowadays. But I didn't know what she was talking about. I definitely think signs ascend, and I definitely think still to this day, if I like stop and think about it, because I think grief is a never-ending process. You're never going to be okay with what's happened. You just kind of get used to, first of all, not talking about it. Most days become easier, but there are still days.
Yeah, there are those moments where you're like, oh.
It's stupid things for me. It would be like if I'm making something and I have a question. It's like when I did, so I've got non-stick pans that I do my cake in, but they kind of were leaving a bit of a funny taste. So I got new dishes, oven cake dishes yesterday. And I would have loved to have ringed my mum and asked her if I needed parchment paper. It's stupid shit like that, do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think this person is getting signs, and she's still grieving so hard that the signs are more
like powerful, more prominent.
More powerful, and she's looking for them harder.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's kind of what I think. But yeah, I liked that story. It made me go, oh, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Silly cow.
I feel like mine's not so nice.
Good. Will take us away from that.
Well, I've got 3 on here. This is the shortest one.
Okay.
Okay, because
oh my god, my nose.
That's what I look for. Short stories. Okay, this one is called Gaslighting into an Alternative Reality, the Narcissist and the Mandela Effect.
How funny, because I've just pulled up a story that I am going to bring up, because this kind of plays into the Mandela Effect as well. So you go first, unless it's the same.
Is that what it's called?
No.
Well, I hope not then. Okay, so for me, the worst part of being a child of a narcissist is that I've never felt like I have had a good grasp on reality. There's no particular episode that sticks out to me as the perfect example. Growing up, whenever my mother would crack eggs, she'd crack the egg into a bowl, pan, whatever, then put the empty shell back into the slot where the egg had been resting. For me, this was always very normal. Sounds normal to me.
Yeah.
When I grew up, this is how I did it in my own kitchen, because this is the way I've always seen it done. It didn't occur to me to do it any other way. My husband picked up the habit early in our marriage. Fast forward to when I was in my mid-20s, I was staying at my mother's, and one morning I was making breakfast for everyone. I'm cracking eggs into a bowl to make a big scramble, and suddenly my mother is screaming at me, "Stop, stop, what are you doing?" I was stunned, and I did my normal rabbit freeze. I finally said, "Making scrambled eggs?" "No, why are you putting those shells into the carton?" This is capital letters and exclamation marks.
So she was mad.
She was angry, shouty.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand why she was so upset. All I could say was, "That's how you've always done it." She widened her eyes and gasped in outraged horror. I have never put filthy garbage into my egg cartons. I was foolish enough to weakly try to insist that the entire time I was growing up, this is how she always did it, and boy, was that a mistake. Apparently, I'm a liar and slanderous, and how dare I accuse her of such filthy habits?
Are we talking about eggs?
We're talking about egg
You want to
shells.
calm down, mate.
This incident, along with thousands of others, left a hard mark on me. I honestly had no idea what was reality anymore. My confidence has always been shit because of this. I didn't trust myself as far as I could throw myself. Flash forward 20 years to my mid-40s and I find out about the Mandela effect. Funny enough, I found out about the Mandela effect.
Because I helped her. I brought her where we are, people.
She brought me into the reality.
Well, one of them anyway.
Yeah, whatever. So, 1,000 arguments zip through my brain. The egg incident is the craziest one that stands out in that moment. For a few minutes, I actually considered that maybe my mum and I are experiencing a past from alternative realities because I don't know what else to think. Although I've seen her do it to other people before, apart from me, still can't accept the idea that my mother would be so deluded, cruel, mean, just to win a pointless argument with me. I called my mum and I asked her, "Mum, after you crack an egg, what do you do with the shell?" "Oh, I just toss them back into the carton. It doesn't hurt anything." I honestly couldn't speak. The way she acted, attacked me that day was so violent that I quit doing the eggshell thing altogether. Couldn't break my husband of the habit though. I've been walking this earth for more than half a century and I still don't know what is real. I mistrust myself completely. Most of the time I don't bother to argue because I have no faith in my memories, my analysis, myself. I spend my entire life just trying to find solid footing and worried that any foundation that I stand on will suddenly turn to quicksand and swallow me whole. Gaslighting destroys lives, minds, spirits and sanity. But for the narcissist, it's more important to be right at all costs than it is to be happy and or kind or to admit a mistake. Please tell me that I'm not Please tell me that I'm not the only one who doubts her own eyes, ears, memories because of this. I can't be the only one who feels crazy all the time out of the fear that I can't tell the truth from the untruth.
Okay, so one of two things are happening here.
Yeah.
Either it is a through and through Mandela effect and something's crossed over
there
where
is a parallel universe happening there.
Right. Or the mum is a true narcissist, because you mentioned narcissists, the gaslighting.
Yeah.
Just because the mum was putting the old eggs in the carton, saw her do it, reprimanded her for it for no reason other than being a narcissist.
Yeah.
Right. And then obviously years later, as the girl's 40, whatever, has then tried to turn the tables back and be like, yeah, no, I've always done that, to make her feel like she's crazy. So it's difficult to know which one it is. It's entirely possible it's a Mandela effect, but it's also entirely possible she's being gaslit and her mum is a through and through fucking crank narcissist. See you next Tuesday. I hope that it is a Mandela effect over having someone do that to you.
Yeah.
So I don't like being reprimanded for mistakes or anything like that. And as you saw earlier, when the plate dropped, when Alfie got the cake out and the plate dropped, what did I do? I picked the plate up, no big deal. Asked Emily to get me another plate out. Nobody's hurt. There's no need. So what do you do with your eggs in the carton?
Yeah, I do that.
So it's
only because I don't like it on the side, and my
Me
bin is over there.
So it's mine.
So it's
mine's
sort of
outside in
here
the summer.
to there, travelling with a dripping eggshell, or just straight in there.
So I will grab a bowl or a glass and put them in there, depending on. So like if I've got a 15 egg carton, I'm using 3. I'll crack straight in the glass, not the egg in the glass, the egg where I need it to be.
A 50.
15.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Yeah. So I'll crack the egg into what I need, the mixing thing, and then I'll put the empty shell in the glass. I just grab a glass or whatever and put it in there. Only if I'm leaving the rest of the eggs in the carton. If I'm done with the carton, the egg shells go in the carton and then straight into the bin.
No, I put them into the carton before with still eggs that I was going back.
Not.
But I can't cope with the idea that's putting it on the side.
It's also no big deal.
No, it's
how you've
not.
done it. It's no big deal because the eggs. So we have different eggs than America because we don't have to refrigerate our eggs.
I always do.
I'm just saying, our protective layer isn't washed off the eggs. I've seen a few programs like that where theirs is washed off and that's why theirs has to be refrigerated.
Oh.
So either way, when we're cracking our eggs, it doesn't matter if dirty egg is getting on that shell because it's just a shell, right?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes my eggs come literally directly out of the butt of a chicken.
That's what I'm saying. So, like I say, I'm hoping it's the parallel universe. I've got a feeling the mum's a massive narcissist.
Yeah, so this is the top comment, yeah?
Right.
She says, yes, these types of incidences happened all the time. All the time. My therapist has diagnosed me with complex PTSD
What I was saying to you the other
because
day.
of all the trauma of being raised by a narc parent. Physical, emotional, mental and sexual abuse. They don't just steal your childhood, they steal your entire soul and any promise of having a normal and healthy existence. Sorry, I was just a bit like, So someone really is sort of pushing towards it being narc, but how that actually,
of course, there's a possibility.
Stealing that, what is real, what is okay, what can I not do?
So what they're learning is that narcissistic behaviour from a parent or a partner leaves actual physical damage to the brain. So it's not just they're hurting your feelings and get over it, it's actual trauma to the brain. Like the brain is actually affected by having said parents or partners, and that is why, you know, we've read stories before about these women not leaving immediately. In fact, we were just talking about one that we'd done, and what we haven't released the episode yet, but I mean, I laugh at the end of it only because I'm enjoying Emily's reaction, not because of the story, but this poor girl.
The story's awful.
The story's awful, but she is already so far gone, and it takes a woman at least minimum 7 tries to get away from this. Not just women, men as well. I have seen enough stories with men being in narcissistic, abusive relationships with their partners, but the children don't really have an escape. It is what it is, but yeah, they've now found that it's actual damage to the brain that this is causing. So I don't know, I think she continues to go counselling and whatever and trust her own thoughts. If she think it happened that way, it probably did. It doesn't make her a liar. It means that she's been damaged enough to the point where she can't even trust her own thoughts. So shame on this family.
Like, can I or can't I put my eggshells in the
You
carton?
do whatever you want, babe. Like whatever you want.
Yeah, like break free.
Yeah. You do you, or you start a whole new way of doing things. That was quite a sad one actually.
I said that it wasn't good.
Yeah. Well, I think my one before wasn't great because even I was like, oh, you know what I mean? I think it's the way she writ it as well. Like before, I was like, that's really beautiful. But anyway, let's take you way out now and wind you up a little bit.
Okay.
So do you know who Richard Simmons is? Do you want to have a quick Google so you recognise who it is? So we'll just let her have a quick Google. I think any of you that are in Richard Simmons, no D on the end. I think those of you who are interested in the Mandela or parallel universe would definitely be into this because this is a brand new revelation of what's going on at the minute. I see her eyebrow is like in her hairline. Do you see him? Do you recognise him?
Is he supposed to be a fitness and coach?
Yes.
Okay.
He was on TV all the time when we were young.
No, babe.
You don't recognise them. Alright, so moving on, obsolete. Anyway. Okay, there's already been an edit, but I'll read the story first. I've been seeing on TikTok videos of people thinking about a timeline shift that happened a few days ago, and people saying Richard Simmons died years ago.
Was he a gladiator?
No.
Oh no, sorry, it's just a really dodgy fucking leotard he's got on.
Yeah. Do you remember that film, that show? It was great, that was. If anyone else experienced a Mandela effect, I'm going to jump right into the edit. Just a reminder, I do not believe this myself. I was asking based on what I saw on TikTok. No need to be jerks. So we haven't dived into it. So basically, Richard Simmons was like our English version of Mr. Motivator. Do you remember Mr. Motivator?
Yeah, I know Mr.
Yeah.
Motivator.
So
He's still on
he-
TV.
So he does, he's got his own TikTok as well, isn't he? So he had his own, but he wore a headband and people remember that, and then they're saying he never had a headband, and then basically people remember him dying, very similar to Nelson Mandela a long time ago, but they're saying he's just died.
Who's just died? This Richard Simmons has just died.
Something like that, yeah, hold on, let me go into it. No, I'm a huge fan, and he was very much alive until the recent announcement. He stunned Hollywood. He shunned Hollywood limelight because of rumours being spread about him. So that's what I'm saying.
Being dead?
No, so I don't know, it's probably this child shit going around, but basically some people remember him dying a long time ago, other people he's just been announced dead. Very similar. Look at the eyebrow.
Sorry, it's literally because yeah, carry on.
Yeah, so again, listen, it's not a big post, but because I thought you might know who he was. I remember him, especially around Rachel Jones's. She had all the cable and that.
I don't even remember having a TV, babe.
You don't remember having a TV?
What? Not Rachel Jones.
It was in the lounge in the corner. She had cable.
Did she?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I remember.
Do you remember her mum and dad being together? I really shouldn't have said
No.
her name. You're gonna have to that out. Her mum, I knew her. I went to junior school with her.
No, I don't remember her mum and dad together.
Yeah. So I remember it from there. And
The
then someone
cause
said,
of death is under investigation
there you go.
because he's already supposed to be dead.
Here, look, somebody said, yes, I remember when I heard he died, I was like, didn't he already die? So this is now set the internet on fire again because people are like, what are you talking about? He's been dead for years. So that was just a quick one that I wanted to throw in there because to me that belongs in Mandela Effect.
Yeah, possibly, but like a whole person in Mandela Effect. I thought he was more just objects.
It's things, no, so Mandela is where you remember one way and I remember another way. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like the Queen song, the monocle on Monopoly Man, that sort of thing. But this is a whole, but that is how the Mandela Effect started, because people remember Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 80s, turns out he fucking didn't. That's how it started, in 2012, hence the Headlong Collider, starting that up. That's when things started to get weird.
Ah,
Yeah, it's cool. Go on, over to you.
alright.
That was for you guys.
I've only got 2 long ones.
You're going to have to hit one.
Okay, which one? Black Mirrors.
It's
Some-
Black Mirrors.
Sometimes I think dreams can be a window into a parallel universe.
So we've covered that. I'm going Black Mirrors all the way.
That's the longest one.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's Black Mirrors. Although I've never seen a Black Mirror.
Right, listen.
Yeah, listen, bitch.
Okay. Black Mirrors. Okay, I'm starting with to wonder this. Phones are basically black mirrors, and because our intentions are everything, I'm now wondering if people are unconsciously projecting themselves through these portals, through these phones, which is also why porn is bad, because I don't know, perhaps things happen which shouldn't be happening as a result of like staring into these phones, and maybe also explain some sort of voyeurism going on when people scroll through their phone mindlessly as if scrying without realising it. So as such, I agree. So overall, intensively safeguard yourself against these devices and intend to it be so that these actions be not taken against you, nor is
So like a prayer
to
book.
be carried out on your part.
No,
I don't like how this person's writing.
but it's saying it like a chant, babe.
Yeah.
But carry on. Let's see what we manifest. Be rich. Let the podcast go.
There's a lot of
far.
edits. If done so knowingly, please turn away. The entire multiverse relies on your commitment to liberation to end our collective suffering.
That's Matrix shit.
Oh, this is getting all a bit...
Yeah, a
Ready?
bit
You ready?
Black Mirror-ish. Have you watched that
No.
program? It's on Netflix.
Black Mirror.
Oh, it's so good.
It's like loads of little...
Yeah, snippets of
Yeah.
crazy shit.
Yeah, I've watched a couple of them.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
So, next part they're saying, sex is sacred, and if people... I feel like they've gone on a tangent. I don't even think they... I think they've lured me in with Black Mirror, and really they want to tell me porn is bad. I feel like this
It's
is
the whole thing about porn.
So the next bit is, sex is sacred,
Refuss.
and if people are going around astral projecting knowingly
That's
or
charmed.
unknowingly or whatever, and like some people know this shit and abuse that, then that itself is a issue and an invasion of sacred free will.
Close your legs, you bitch. Put your little baby Jesus back in your pants.
The best way to secure yourself in purification
Is to wear a chastity
is
belt.
to evolve your heart to know right and wrong.
Okay.
And that way, if you do so intend to come into eternal agreement of marriage with your partner, you want to do so in health, in love. Otherwise,
In marriage.
it would be based off a foundation of lower frequency creation, corruptible creation, all rights reserved.
So if this is a woman, she ain't never had an orgasm. And if this is a man, he's never found anyone to sleep with him.
There's 2 edits.
Oh, okay.
Edit 1. Y'all may have
Y'all.
heard of the slider phenomena,
Oh, slide it in.
where
There's
basically
a little
people
thing
make
for him as well. Slide.
electronics act strangely.
They're dildos.
I believe this may play a part in porn, where because porn is meaningless and the ones watching it give it their energy into these vessels through these portals or whatever, that somehow energies are being entangled as a result in some sort of spiritual orgy. Probably not good considering the energies connected to it.
I want to know what the comments say.
These devices are literally creating portals into this realm, into the realm of porn.
It's like a sermon. It's like a church person has written this. Like, you know, not a church person, you know, I believe in God. A really deeply religious person is blaming porn for the world's problems.
So
it
the
goes
top
much
comment-
deeper than that.
I have got a second edit, but the top comment is, tip of the iceberg, thank you for sharing. You got more to add.
And that's when
Just
the edit
keep
comes in.
exploring, for sure. Yeah, you're onto it. Keep exploring. I don't know. For some reason, I've come to the same conclusion. Whenever I watch porn, I feel weird afterwards. in a way that I can't explain. It's as if some kind of energy was taken from me. Is that not cool?
Yes, it was your cum. Yeah, your orgasms, brother. That's what happened. Yeah, now you're tired. Have a sleep. What are you reading? You always find the weirdest shit. I'm telling you. Listen,
Edit too. Do you want to edit too?
yeah, just let me say this. Yeah, I'm not a lover of porn. I don't. It doesn't really do anything for me. Like porn never has. Right? I don't believe it's connected to the devil or somebody stealing your energy. I think you're tired because.
But I'm hoping they're just using porn as
an example. You're taking it as just a.
They're using it as an example of your phone is this black mirror that is absorbing your energy, leading you into this bad choice.
Right. To be fair, it does take time. Is what I mean. Is like you don't
watch
scrolling.
one lot of porn and then that's it. Now you're
you're satisfied. But what I'm saying is like, say I'm scrolling on tic-tac-toe. I'm scrolling on TikTok because I don't really, because I upload every day, I don't really go on a lot of social media except TikTok, where I like to send you loads of stupid shit because I find it funny. But that does take, so 1 minute it's 1 o'clock, the next thing it's 4 o'clock. Like it does take your time. It's like you're like focused into that moment on TikTok. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yes, I agree if he's using porn as a hypothetical.
I want to think that is what they're doing.
I hope so, because you can't.
But clearly they are also not happy with the idea of porn.
No, and fine. Listen, I get it. Do you know, I don't think it's great for because it's not realistic either, porn. Which is why it doesn't do anything for me personally. It's not a real representation of women, men, or how things are. Do you know what I mean?
Just any type of relationship.
Exactly. So go on.
Okay, edit 2. I don't know how to explain this, but it's like when people watch porn, it has no meaning in it and it is soul sucking. It is like it is programming the mind to cuckold itself. Cuckold?
Yeah. Cuckold, yeah.
Itself. I don't believe what's on screen is always people, or that they themselves may be being controlled by a non-human intelligence. Like you are imagining two people doing it together when you are not involved but getting off on it. So the mind is sacred in itself. It's a bit, I don't know.
I think if it had they veered off into other subjects of what they think's going on, hence when we talk about like the Matrix and that, I could be more on board, but they are completely focused on porn and it's making me different. Everybody knows that porn isn't real because as well, to have, I'm not talking about one night stands or anything like that, but when you have human connection with somebody else, of course, sex is very different than porn and that sort of thing, of course, because you're going through the motions. It's fake, everybody knows that, but they are completely hyper focused on porn, but you don't think they are?
No, the more I read into this,
the more you're outside of the box. Or you think they are
back. I feel like
it's all about porn. I'm getting porn. I'm like, porn is bad. Yeah, we know. Like, I get it. I wouldn't want my children like focused on that. That's my dog this time. Your one's back outside.
Not my proudest realisation. Sorry, it is Glom.
Yeah.
Not my proudest realisation, but I say this is perhaps free, whatever means that might connect others to purify themselves from the entanglements. I don't know.
It might be a bit of both.
I feel like they're clearly against porn.
Yes, we've grasped that.
And they have used it as a
staple in the story of what they're trying to put out.
They're describing it as a spiritual orgy.
I don't think it is.
It's the representation of the uncontrolled and lack of mastery of intentful creation that is pure and incorruptible.
I disagree, because I think the spiritual uplifting is when you're fully connected with someone
and you have love making, etc. I think that's very different than what people think about porn.
So they're saying the trap is living through others and not living through yourself. Again, as aspect of social media, love doesn't need to prove itself, it simply just is.
Yes. Now they're
I feel
telling
like,
me
yeah,
that
I feel like there's a mixture.
Because you're right. So
They're
when
trying to say it from both.
yeah, so you see these couples that are on "I love you so much,"
Yeah.
all that crap on social
They're
media,
saying
or
purify yourself and don't corrupt yourself.
I understand what they mean. Like all the, you know, I've got this Gucci bag, or I haven't got no Gucci bags. But my point is, I've got this Gucci bag or whatever, and you're doing all this shit for social media, and then other people are desiring to have that sort of thing and trying to live that way. So yes, I can see from that. I just don't think his analogy of fully going porn was helpful in any way, because it's like we get it. You know what I mean?
It doesn't help that the minute you say porn, we're like, we're in the gutter. I'm like,
Yeah.
too late for us.
Yeah, that's because, you know, we've seen 80s porn or Animal Farm. I mean, that was something awful to learn about. Shall I finish us off?
Oh, please do.
Yeah. I mean, the
And we
title,
don't mean within porn, we're talking about stories.
I don't know where this is going to
Please,
go.
no more porn.
So, I don't know if I'm alive.
Oh.
Oh. Oh. You went, oh. Right. This happened today, but I can't shake the weird feeling. So after a music festival, the next day, me and my boyfriend and some of his friends went swimming. It's pretty small lake with a deck. We were throwing each other in and throwing a ball around and overall having a nice time. I had gotten tired, but I decided to swim to get the ball when it landed further away in the water. The time I was swimming to the ball, there you go, I missed the two, to the ball, I was thinking to myself, just keep your head up.
Just keep
Don't
swimming.
drown. That's all that came from my mouth. Nemo. Just keep swimming. Oh, who are you? Anyway, just keep your head up. Don't drown. Because I was really tired.
I often tell myself that when I'm swimming.
Don't
die.
Don't have your leg bitten off by a shark. I'll tell you a story in a minute, but
No.
anyway, I'm telling them that story.
No, you
It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life.
She
Anyway,
exaggerates.
because I was really tired and I had a fear of drowning. Got the ball and started swimming back.
I relate
Suddenly,
to this one.
a weird feeling got over me and I haven't been able to shake it off. I feel like I'm dead.
I don't often feel that.
That moment, or at least lost consciousness, everything seemed weird, and I remember that when I jumped in, one of the guys said, "Oh, she's already swimming to it." But my boyfriend told me that they were telling me not to jump in, not to swim. And I just can't get rid of the feeling that I'm living now a life that's like the lump looks weird story. I don't know what that is. What do you think?
I feel like you fucking lost me at the end.
Yeah, so I think what she's saying is she's not sure.
So she thinks she's
dead.
to get
thinks
this
she's dead.
ball.
Yeah, and that she died,
and that she's died in this
and that she's still going through the motions.
transaction.
Like a dream. Okay, so let's see if this helps.
Go on.
So this is the top comment. If the breaching universe theory is correct, then the other branch timeline, you didn't make it.
But you jump back into your original.
Or that person, they crossed over. She wasn't meant to make it, but she was. And they crossed over. So
Crossed.
she's there thinking I should be dead.
Yeah, what's going on?
Right, okay, so hold on.
Right, okay.
You didn't make it. I had a similar experience over 30 years ago where I oversteered, pulling out onto a lane road, ended up driving off the dirt shoulder just as a car decided to pass another car from the other direction, I most likely would have been killed instantly. You're here, I'm here. Do the best you can with the chance you have. That's cool.
Yeah. I feel like...
Or is that a near-death experience? I quite like both theories there. If at that moment their life passed cross and she was meant to die here with me and you, for example, and that other person was meant to live, so now that other person died, and in that parallel universe they're grieving, but here she's still alive.
Yeah.
That's cool. So I think I've said this to you, I've probably said it on the podcast, I sometimes think that we are all dead and this is hell. I say it all the time. And
I don't know if we're dead, but we could definitely be in hell.
well, we could be going through the motions, trying to better ourselves. Like I say, this is our own form of torment, right? Because you've got, so if you look at the description of hell, or you look at the Bible, or of the second coming, we've got the fire and brimstone, we've got the plague, all the things, the floods, all the things that they say is going to happen is happening. I'm not saying that's true, but I'm saying there's elements, and sometimes I think, what happens if, you know, and the good parts in your life, sometimes this is how I look at it, maybe I need mental help, probably, the good parts in your life are there to distract you from what's really going on. So like adverts.
Yeah.
So I've said this before.
You have.
I'm not 100%
I hate that
not-
you describe the good times in our lives as adverts.
They are, because they're short. It's short-lived. Those moments are
those
short.
3-minute intervals.
But they are. And that then distracts you. So when things are like shit, and then you get that distraction, you're like, it's going to be alright, I'm alright, and then shit.
Yeah, but it's not always shit. Sometimes it's just, you know, those
shit.
mediocres.
It's more shit than mediocre. Be honest.
You know, when you're just going through the
And
motions
when you're
of
just
life.
when you're just going through the motions and something exciting happens, just that moment where you're like, this is great, bam. And then shit, and then comes along another advert. That is where it takes me sometimes.
When am I getting an advert?
I
must
don't.
be due an advert.
We're on an advert right now doing this together. I don't know if that is just my own self-wallow. Do you know what I mean? From everything that's happened. That could be my own, like, pity party violin crap. Do you know what I mean? But, oh.
Somebody at the door. Somebody at the door. Who's
Have
gonna
you got it? This is parcel.
answer it?
Yeah, so I don't have to go. Yeah, so anyway.
Watch out for the dogs. Hattie!
Yeah, but how Alfie?
Oh, it'll be at that door.
Yeah, front door.
Oh.
Where do you think it was? The back
Back
door. Yeah. So anyway, so I do like that nobody has a fucking idea what is going on.
I like that nobody has the idea.
That's
because
what
I don't
I'm
feel like
saying.
anyone's in the power here.
Nobody.
I'm good
Nobody.
for that. We're all going through the shit show
Or
together.
if there is people that really truly know what is going on, we
Probably
don't.
Trump and
it's better, yeah, probably. But it's better that we don't. Do you know what I mean?
I'm good.
I'm good as well. I'd rather just.
I mean, I don't like surprises, but
Yeah, I'd rather just continue the not knowing, sometimes thinking I'm in hell, other times being perfectly fine. I'm alright with that. But yes, let me finish us off by telling the story of Emily.
no, there is no
And the
story to
water.
tell.
Anyway, so we went to Jenna, she's been on our podcast, we went to her hen do in Ibiza. Brilliant time, great time. And we decided after drinking all day,
Far
where
too
did we go?
much.
Ocean Club.
Ocean Club.
Went to Ocean Club.
Far too much
Fantastic.
drinking.
And we had bottles and oh my god, we were absolutely, not quite para, but
We
we
were
were
spangled.
We were spangled. We decided then would be a good time to walk down on the seafront and go and get on inflatables about 250 metres from the sea. From the shore.
I don't know.
Too far.
Too far.
So they make you put on these life jackets and then you
Sign
sign
a
a waiver
So if I die, it's not their fault or their problem. We were like, yay, best day ever. So anyway, that was that. Now Emily, compared to me, I'm like, as you can probably tell, I'm like, everything's like a second a minute. Emily is more chilled, more laid back, takes her time, whatever, fine. We get in the water and this bitch is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You have never seen anything like it. She's like an athletic swimmer.
You love this story.
Because I have never seen anyone move so fast. So of course I'm fucking hysterically laughing.
That's when you nearly drown though, isn't it? When you're laughing in the water.
Yeah, but I luckily had a life jacket on. So I get there, I can't, where I've been laughing so much all the way to pull myself up on this, I can't even get up. Because
I don't know how I got up.
I have not, yeah, because you thought there was a shark.
So I touched my leg.
Yeah, it was so funny. I mean, honestly, we had a great time on that holiday, but that is it. So I feel like we're done.
You love that story.
I love that story.
I can't find my little water camera
Good.
because I've never actually watched. So
Good.
I actually had a little water camera. I took footage
Of the whole
of
thing.
that whole activity
Thank God.
on
I
that
hope it
inflatable
burned.
thing.
Oh, I
Yeah.
hope it's burned somewhere.
I don't know.
If we're in
I'm
hell, I
looking
hope
for
the
it.
devil's got it and it's like a laugh for him, but that's enough. The other thing to know on that fucking inflatable thing was there was a rope, right? So it was like from here to over there, so probably 2 meters, and you had to swing on this fucking rope to get to the other side. Well, in turn, each fucking one of us thought we could do it. We just drop straight down. So we go, drop straight down, and in turn, one by one, we just kept dropping down. That was brilliant as well. And then we had to climb up the rope thing. But
Too
yeah.
drunk, too weak.
2
climbing up,
weeks from all the
laughing.
laughing. That was
Putting
well
yourself up on
dangerous.
something.
When we got back to the UK, we went, that was well dangerous.
We nearly died.
We almost died. Like, that was proper stupid.
That was a. Do you remember that one time we almost died?
Yeah,
Situation?
yeah. I mean, I don't know what we were thinking because we were kids, but we were like, yay, yay, so pathetic. All right, my darlings, please like, subscribe, and follow for more content. Like I say, pop over to Reddit, leave us some stories. You can do it anonymously. That's the right word. Anonymously, and we will read them. Anonymously. Have I got all posh again?
Yeah.
Bye bye, my darling.
Later, say
Till next time. Oh, my body.
Wow. What do you think of that? I think. What don't you think of that? I think that girl has got everything that she deserves.